So today, so last chapter you understood, right?
Yes.
The basic essential elements of valid contract and also the types of contracts, right? So today the topic is about offer and acceptance. Right. So today, so in detail we are going to discuss about the offer and acceptance. You know what is offer? Basically, you know what is an acceptance also basically, right? So, but what are the rules regarding the offer and what are the rules regarding the acceptance? Right? You need to make a valid offer always, right? To make a valid offer, what are the contents that are required, and also to make a valid acceptance, what are the elements that are required. So this chapter we are going to see that. See, you know there are at least two parties to form a contract. So a person who is giving an offer, right? A is giving an offer to B. So the person who is giving an offer is called a offeror, right? And the opposite person is called as a offering. Understood? Offeror and offering. The person who is giving the offer is offeror, and the opposite person is offering. The person who is receiving that offer. Person who is in the receiving end will be called as an offering, right? So just remember that terms. Right. First of all, we will discuss about offer. So what is an offer basically? So the definition part. So the person is said to have. So this is the definition of offer basically. So in act the students in every law, definitions are important part always. So what is the definition? Definition uh, tries to describe about something. Understood? The definition always tries to describe or give a meaning about something. Right? So whenever throughout the contract act, if you face a word called offer, you need to understand according to this definition. Understood? So that definition is of that much of significance. Not only in this law, every law the definitions are important. Understood? So now, so this is as per section I think 2A, right? So let's write it as section 2 subsection A. Right. So a person is said to have made the proposal. Proposal means offer. Proposal means offer, So when an offer is said to be made, right? When he signifies to another, when one person signifies to another, signifies means what? Communicates to another. When one person is communicating to another, right? Here A is communicating to B. Understood? A is signifying to B or A is communicating to B. What is communicating? What is communicating? His willingness to do or abstain from doing anything. What is communicating? Willingness to do something or willingness not to do something. Abstain from doing anything means willingness not to do something. So, I promise you to do something. I promise you that I will do something for you if you pay me this much. Similarly, I promise to you that I will not do something for you if you pay me something. Got it right? Example you can take. Now A is giving an offer to B that I will sell my car to you if you pay me 1 lakh. Understood? I will sell my car to you if you pay me 1 lakh. So that is willingness, expressing his willingness to do something. Understood? So that is an offer. That is all an offer. Similarly, suppose A is a money lender and B is a borrower. A is a money lender and B is a borrower. Now B is not paying the money on time. Now money lender will be having the right to file a case. Yes or no? Yes. Right. Now A is giving an offer to B that I will not file a case on you if you pay me some additional interest. Understood? I will not file a case on you if you pay me additional interest of 2%. Understood? So means what here? Here he is expressing his willingness not to do something. I will not do that if you do this, if you pay me this much. Clear? Understood, right? In the first case I am telling I will do that if you pay me 1 lakh. In the second case is telling I will not do that if you pay me additional interest. Clear? Understood, right? So that is what? Willingness to do something and willingness not to do something. Both are offers. Both are offers only. So willingness to do something is called as a positive offer, right? And willingness not to do something, like in money lender case, that is a negative offer. Understood? So an offer can be either positive or an offer can be either negative. Both are valid offers only. Clear? Understood, right? Both are valid offers only. Similarly, suppose A is a wife and B is a husband. Suppose they are taking a divorce. Now wife is promising husband that I will not file a case on you if you pay me monthly maintenance expenses. That is also a negative offer. That is also a negative offer. Willingness not to do something. Clear? Understood, right? So like that. So an offer can be willingness to do something and willingness not to do something, right? And how it is made, why it has been made, right? It has been made with a view to obtain the assent of that other, right? So always the person making an offer is making it with a view to obtain. Why I am giving the offer to you? So while I am giving an offer to you, my intention should be I should gain your acceptance. Understood? With a view to obtain the acceptance of the opposite person. Clear? Understood, right? With a view to obtain the acceptance of the opposite person. So suppose I said that, right, I will sell my car. You said yes, I will buy it. And then I'll say simply I joked it, right? So in that case, it is not a valid offer. Why? Because I don't have a willingness there. Understood? I don't have a view to obtain the acceptance. See, take an example of a salesperson in a showroom, or a salesperson in a suppose you want to buy a TV or mobile phone or whatever it might be. You will go to an electronic shop. There the salespersons will be making various representations to you about the product. Yes or no? So in that representations, what is his final intention? What is his final intention? To get your acceptance. Yes or no? So the same thing you can apply it here. The person should give the offer, right, with the view to obtain the assent. Assent means the consent of the opposite person. Clear, understood, right? So get the acceptance of that opposite person to such act or abstinence, means whatever I am telling, right, to that I should get your acceptance with a view. I should make it with a view to get your consent or acceptance. Clear, got it, right? So this is what their offer is all about, right? So the basic thing, what, when one person signifies means what? Communicates to another. What is communicating? His willingness to do something or
Not
abstain from doing something, means willingness not to do something. Clear, understood, right? So this is a definition part of the offer. So just write down. Next we'll go with the elements of offer. We'll just elaborate this definition. Finished? Finished, right? So next we'll see right. So the first point is offer must be communicated. So that is what. So the definition what you have seen, when one person signifies to another, means there it is communicating. The definition clearly told it should be communicated, correct? So here the offer must be communicated. So communicated in what way you can communicate? You can communicate in any manner. Either you can communicate orally, or you can communicate by writing, or you can communicate implied by behavior. Understood? Implied offer also can be there. Clear, understood, right? So I have told you the example of a supermarket example. So that's the offer given impliedly, correct, by behavior. So it can be communicated in any manner, but the thing is it should be communicated. So then only, see, one common sense you apply. So without my offer gets communicated, how can you give the acceptance? Correct? How can the opposite person give the acceptance without the offer is communicated? That is clear, right? So without knowing about my offer, how you can give acceptance to me? Yes or no? You should know it in any manner. Either I should communicate you orally or written or by action or whatever it might be, I should communicate, and you, for that only you can give the acceptance. Without communication of the offer, right? there will not be any contract establishment between the parties. Clear, understood, right? Without communication of offer, the contract will not be established. So the offer must be communication in the sense it should reach the opposite party. Communication in the sense it should reach the opposite party. Right. So based on this, there is a practical case law also. Right. There is a practical case law which has happened actually based on the communication of offer. Right. So that case law will be the name of the case law will be so Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt. Right. Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt. So the case law. So that is what a case which has happened in the court. So those two people fought in that case regarding this point. Understood? And the court has given a judgment based on that. So that is a case law. Right. So Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt. So in this case, what happened? You know. Right. So there is a landlord. Right. There is a landlord. Right. The naming of Mr. X is a landlord. Now, his nephew means a small boy in his house, right? Is some nephew or relative of is that boy is missing. Understood? That boy is missing. Now, he ordered the servant Y. Y is his servant. Y is his servant. Understood? Now he ordered the servant Y to go and find out the missing boy. Understood? To go and find out the missing boy. Now the servant went out in search of the boy. After servant went out, now this landlord gave a public offer. This landlord gave a open offer or public offer that if anyone finds the missing boy, right, I will give them the cash price of some amount, some 1,000 or 10,000 or some amount like that. Understood? I will give the cash price of this much if anyone finds the missing boy. Understood? Now, after 2 days, servant only found the missing boy. Servant only found the missing boy and he brought it to the landlord. And he surrendered the boy to the landlord. After surrendering the boy to landlord, he came to know that landlord has given an offer. He came to know that landlord has given an offer. Now he is again going back and asking where is my money. Right, asking where is my money. So that landlord told what money? What money? What nonsense you are talking? Understood? So he told immediately, you only told no, you only gave a public offer that anyone finds the missing boy, right? I will give the cash price. Now I only found no, give me that 10,000 rupees. He said, no money, nothing, you get lost. Now this fellow filed a case on the landlord. This fellow filed a case on the landlord that I should get that cash price. Now will he get that cash price? Will he get that cash price? No, if not, why?
First he said for his servant, then he gave it after.
Okay. That is okay, no, but not an exact point you have.
Servant will not make the offer.
So the point is that offer communicated to the servant? No. While he was finding out the boy, is that offer communicated to him? No. Correct. He found the boy as per the orders of the boss, not as per the offer. Clear, understood, right? So, since the offer is not communicated, right? Since the offer is not communicated, right? So, in this case, the cash price will not be given. So, offer is not communicated means there will be no contractual relationship only. There will be no contract establishes only. Contract, when it will establish, offer should be communicated and then acceptance should come. So, here offer is only not communicated, then how the contract will be established? So in that case, the court clearly told that since the offer is not communicated to you, right? So this is not, so you cannot win the case. So you will not get the cash prize. Clear, understood, right? So this is what. Next. Right? So the offer must have its terms definite and clear. So I told no certainty. Certainty in the last class we have discussed certainty. Certainty means maintaining clarity in the terms and conditions. Right? I have given some examples also. Going to shop and asking, I want one soap. Right? When there are n number of soaps in the market, which soap you want? You have to tell it clearly, right? So you are giving an offer, but the terms and conditions are not clear. The terms and conditions are not, then it is not a valid offer, right? So the offer should have the certainty. Certainty means clarity in terms and conditions. Next, offer must exhibit the final willingness of the offer, or I have told you the definition only. Right, he should exhibit his willingness. Definition only told no. It signifies to another his willingness to do or not to do something. Means what? There the main point is willingness is the main point. Understood? So offer should exhibit the final willingness of the offerer. Right? Right? I will sell my property to you. Right? I may sell my property to you. There is a difference, right? So, I will means what? There is a willingness. I like to sell my property means what? So, may or may not, correct? But I will means what? There is a willingness. Clear, understood, right? So, here the offer should exhibit that willingness. Offer should exhibit that willingness. Next. Offer must be capable of creating legal relationship. Right. So in the very first chapter only we have discussed intention to create a legal. There should be a legal obligation between the parties. Correct. So here while giving the offer also it should be given with an intention to create a legal obligation. Right. With an intention to create a legal obligation. I have explained some examples also. I will sell my car to you. So will it create a legal obligation? Will it create a legal obligation if you accept it? Yes or no? Yes, the intention is legal. Right? So I am offering you to come to dinner in my house. Now will it create a legal obligation? If you don't come to dinner, can I file a case on you? No. Right? So like that. So the intention, the offer must be capable of creating a legal relationship, or it must be capable of made with an intention to create a legal obligation. Understood, right? Certain and ambiguous. So offer must be